So I appeal to his reason and logic.
And because reason and logic are exactly what we need here, which is true. But I believe that these are involved.
Yeah.
And this is very clearly rhetoric because you're not convincing the group.
No,
and I would have bumped you down in SV for a skill base for that. But you're dealing directly with Narville, who also just psychologically, it's like he's rattled enough that having something to do that's violent and straightforward is almost like this super comfort zone for this guy at this point. So that's kind of the psychology you're coping with.
All right, rhetoric. That's a success, marginal success.
Okay. Bollocks. Marginal, you said.
Yeah.
With apologies for the extreme offensiveness of this phrasing, he will bellow at all of the people that he's organized and say, settle down, form up. Here he's, right here is where the entrance to the keep is. He says, form up, defensive line, right? As opposed to,
offensive.
as opposed to simply, going into a charge into the mass. And you, of course, at this point are looking right at all these. In fact, so are you.
Yeah,
You're like,
what is going on back there?
Exactly. Because you're turning
I
and
just
saying,
have to praise
is looking...
this amazingly wise captain on his actions. He's an incredible... it's a paragon of virtue by Evonian standards, and I'm very happy that he saw it better.
Yeah, well,
he came to senses.
Well, he realized that I think that's a good marginal success, right? It certainly didn't defuse this situation entirely, but it's headed off the worst at the moment.
But I still want to keep defending, so this was actually...
So now everybody tell me where you're going and what you're doing. Lothar's like, I think I'm going to go and jump in the ocean. Safer there, monsters or not.
That's a pretty good idea. I should have okay. Yeah, I will constantly try to disentangle myself from the situation. And I am in dire straits, and things can rapidly go to hell.
So if you're roughly...
I'm quite rattled.
Here, unfortunately, I don't see much of a... Maybe between these two, if you want to dodge between those, and actually, unfortunately, then you're looking down this rocky cliff into the water, but you could make your way along those cliffs.
Yes, that's good
if
enough.
you want to. That seems... I'm just thinking about escape routes, and you know the area really well.
I do.
So...
I imagine I do.
And that's easier than literally in full sight of everybody running back this way, right?
Yeah.
So I actually don't think that's going to be too much of a problem.
Yes, I'm more of a rodent fella.
Yeah. Is this going to be another stealth? Is it going to be more about agility?
Let's see if I have like a critical failure or something.
Well, perhaps. I'm just thinking about just how... consequential, right? I mean, at this point, they're past caring about the individual behaviors.
Yes,
a few minutes ago they did. Now they're past it. They're just surging into action.
Yeah, once you're caught in the mess.
Yeah, so it's really, I'm thinking actually more almost a matter of sort of physically getting yourself out of the press and the direction that they're going, more than anything. Because, but wait, what was the effect of your oratory? You had
they calm down and not storm the keep.
Right. Okay. So that means you're good. You can exit yourself as described with no.
Sorry.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh wait, I think I saw. Right. So So yes, because of that, I think you're not in any. Nobody's going to be, enthusiastic enough to make you join or anything like that. Good. Okay, so you can get out of there, and you're now sort of traversing these rocky shores.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think
it's kind of nice living in Scandinavia. It's really easy to. You guys can totally visualize exactly what that's like without even blinking. I'm from the California coast, which is very rocky, so I'm familiar with that too.
It is rocky, all right.
Yeah, where I'm from, not San Diego and LA, which are big broad beaches, but I'm from the rockier north, so I'm used to that.
Yeah, I'm from the West Coast. It's all rock.
Yeah. Well, whenever I go there, I feel very at home. It's
interesting.
But I will sit down there, and the tremors will come, of course, and I will vomit because of the situation. I'm not a fighter. The adrenaline kicking.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if we should see whether it's just like a little bit in your throat or a full on. I mean, this is Harnmaster, right?
Okay,
I mean, we need to check these things.
Okay.
Oh, I know why. Shock roll.
Yeah, it's a shock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
it's indicated number of d6. It's
Yeah.
3 by default.
Yeah.
That's very
So I'm
much
just turning to the page to sort of enjoy the sequence.
Yeah, exactly.
And you go ahead with your sheet to monitor us. And so
but this is really good that we're practicing the rules.
So what's your endurance index for you is just 1. The potato and some clothes is not going to. It's a minimum of 1. So it's going to be 3d6 plus 1, and we're checking it against your endurance.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My endurance is 16, actually. So that's a 12 plus 1, 13, and my endurance is 16.
Okay. So you feel nauseous and choke a little, maybe, or have to swallow.
Yeah.
But it passes.
Like yes, choking on some bile and spitting.
Yeah.
And happy to be alive.
Yeah.
The relief.
You can die of shock in this game.
I know that.
Possible.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
And it's like really realistic shock. It's like post-combat you die.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's clinical shock.
Yeah.
Everyone's reading that and saying, okay, that's...
Gulping a deep...
well, the idea being that you took the injury and now you fell unconscious. And the question is whether you wake up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
So, let's see here. You guys are so complicated. you have decisions to make, right? You've sort of settled down that end, or at least got them in an organized form of
defensive, not
violence, right?
And I still assure them that this singing does not reflect authentic Vesinian values. As far as I know, because religion, it's just something people do. But I actually want to try to speak with the swordsmaster. He's sort of the in charge here. So I want what's your plan?
We're still a little tense in this spot, so you can go do that. But you're leaving behind a slightly tense situation here. And so the you said I will go talk to the constable, right?
Yes,
and
I guess
so
the keep could react as well.
I'm sorry.
And I'm sure the keep will react as well.
Well, this is coming now.
Yes.
Yeah, this is coming soon. And so as a matter of fact, there is that kind of towerish thing there, and so there has been a response developing in there. So, what would you like to do? They are saying, we'll stay here, we'll stay right here, and somebody's probably going to start drawing the demon turtle like on that wall. They don't have cans of spray paint, but whatever it is you did when you didn't have cans of spray paint, they do that, right? So some charcoal or something, right? They're working it up pretty fast, and so they're saying, he hasn't heard the last of us. You go tell him, Arthur. We're going to live through this winter.
I think I'm gonna hurry to the constable.
Okay.
To make sure that nothing as little things happen while I'm gone.
Right, and Narville, as you come up through here, right, they set up his spearmen there. He's saying, "Are you with them?"
I'm trying to calm them down and make sure that their voices are heard through the constable. I'm not on either side. I'm just.
We know how to deal with, with undisciplined rabble. We can put them all down.
What do you think?
Osquin said no, or Osquin told us to set up. Osquin told us to set up a defense here, right?
Okay.
Right, that's there. He kind of put it together in his head that way in retrospect. Why I follow orders from a woman half my size, but for some reason she just seems to have managed this pretty well. Right.
Talk with that for it.
Yeah, better look out. You're gonna have a husband soon if he's.
Please.
Yeah. So here we have you, he's not resisting you, but you're getting a good look at where he's coming from, and. One of the spearmen, is pointing at the drawing on the wall and saying, "What's that?" It's not a huge monster rising out of the water, even though it's got little waves on the bottom and a monster coming. It's
a creative drawing. It's
a rocket ship.
Trigger warning here.
Yeah, that's
right. It's a creative drawing, nothing to worry about, and I'll make sure that nothing occurs. But please, if something happens, please don't stab. I know it's fun, but please don't stab. Try to push them away with the shields and the blunt ends of the spear. Do that, please. As little bloodshed as possible.
Okay. Oh, that has to be a roll. Rhetoric.
Okay.
And then Arthur told us to.
The 66. More than a failure.
He will assign. I even gave this guy a name. There, Vorogo was your sparring partner, right? And he says, "Vorogo, go with him. Make sure he doesn't betray us. Make sure he says what he does what he says."
Right.
And Vorogo kind of looks at you, and he kind of bonded with you, so he's kind of more in the mode of, "Oh, good, let's go inside." Yes, sir. Come on. So the two of you will head up. And you actually proceeded off this way to go talk to Brion.
Yep.
Who actually had made it his business to, this is probably not quite as easily skirted as it looks, but this is his zone. So I think that he makes it his business. He's already made it his business to kind of head back in.
Send it back in?
Into the keep.
Into the keep, yeah.
So,
exactly.
but I don't know. Is it just calling out to him? Let's see if you can get his attention. Voice times 5 seems like the only. Yeah. Voice times 5. 34. Okay.
Works.
Right. So he turns. Right. Not with someone is calling me, I must get there.
Exactly.
Which is the critical, where he'd be hastening back down. But he turns and he's looking around. What?
Well, but I just jog up to him. I don't. I was just wondering, where are your people? How are you going to manage this? Aren't you you're paid by the constable? Why aren't you doing your job? Maybe not that frank, but
right.
in that sort of.
He is going to, first of all, I want my family page. Boy, when are when you need that family page, you really need it. Actually, he would refer to you by your mother.
Yeah.
And only because she's the actual skilled practitioner, in the family. The husband's fine, but she's the one who does the important work.
Yeah, weaves.
So he'll kind of say, "Oh, Igwen's daughter," and he says, "You've got a good head on your shoulders. What's going on out there?"
Yeah, they were trying to disperse the mob, but I convinced them to...
Mob?
The sort of religious society. I don't know what they're doing, but they seemed to be very eager on beating me up for a couple of minutes ago. So I sent for some help, ran for some help. And this, the Livonian, he's a good guy. He's a very smart Livonian captain and paragon of the people.
So what's going on now?
Oh, they're just guarding the entrance to the keep. Something I might mind your people should perhaps be doing.
He says, "I think they have that covered. I was going to go and check on Sir Petrin." Kind of looks at you again and says, "You've managed things pretty well out there. Come on up."
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to join you.
He spots a leader when he sees it, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and so let's go talk to the constable. It seems as though we might. He's shaking his head as he goes up the stairs and things, right, into these areas, and is shaking his head and I think passing the sort of religious building here, right? So the fellow, right, the in residence, or at least the visiting, priest of Agric, of one or another of their multitude of orders, all of whom hate each other, kind of is kind of looks up, and Brion kind of stares at him as he goes by. He goes, Agric is kind of like, "Is it time to light a great big bonfire?" So, no, it is not bonfire time.
Maybe not.
Go pray. Kill an animal or something. Go away. So, anyway, so yes, you will be working your way up through these staircases, and sooner or later we'll be in a more peaceful, surroundings, where Dafid and Sir Petrin have been in. Ooh.
Just about to mention that. I think we should check up on him.
It's maybe running.
Yeah, they have been really busy, and it was like, "Don't bother me, take care of it." Like to the, go find Brion, take care of it. Was sort of the situation, whatever that is. And Brion is having none of this, and basically just rudely opens the door into where they're having their little talk. Make your awareness check.
That's a success. Marginal success.
Ah, excellent. Dafid is very quick to put something reasonably solid, about this tall. You see a flash of silver. And it's kind of like a striking snake. He's like, the door goes click, and he's like, bam! And you're just in time just to see that he has put this into a secure case, which he's been carrying around a lot lately. Right? But you did not get that critical success to get a really good look at that thing. And Sir Petrin stands up, whom I consider as a fairly substantial looking dude. And he says, "I expect you to handle these things by yourself." Brion says, "It seems handled." Dafid is like, "Osquin,
Well, if I'm allowed to speak for a moment, I managed to convince the Ionian captain who is joining us for this winter to stand guard outside the keep. Just keep the religious congregation keep them calm and sensible.